go.
That's a beauty right there. Oh, did you see that?
Oh, Jesus, that bad. That cup. Can you get a
I did
different
that.
glass?
I did this for our guest that's coming up in a little bit. We are both huge Celtics fans, not Fisher Flips.
No, not me. Oh, not me.
But we won't talk sports, politics, or religion. We don't want to lose any viewers.
Right.
Hey, welcome to the Pints and
back.
Profits Show. Welcome. Dennis the Free King Flipper here. And we got this Knicks fan over here.
Hey, guys. It is Scott here from Fisher Flips. Welcome back to the show. Thanks, guys, for everybody tuning in.
We are avid craft beer fans, and we are both resellers. I sell mainly vintage toys, vintage electronics, media, pretty much everything, except I don't really do a lot of clothing.
Well, guys, you're lucky because that's all I do is clothing. I do 99.9999% clothing. Why do you ask? Because for me, it's what I love. It's plentiful. It's all over the place. I enjoy it. And I also enjoy what we're drinking.
Yes. I'm not going to lie to you. This is not my first beer that I...
It's not. Third, fourth.
If I told you what I started with...
Well, what time did you start?
4:12.
That's not bad. All right.
4:12. We're recording on a Thursday. I started with a Emperor Julius, which is a double IPA from Treehouse. I followed that up with a filet mignon that I did on the what's that?
Blackstone?
Flat and Grill?
The
Blackstone.
Yep.
And with that, I had a Super Typhoon.
Ooh.
Which I drank 2 of these on the Nurse Flipper and the Picking and Punching show that we were on the other night.
That's right.
Thanks again for having us, guys. This is done. And now I'm having yet another one from Treehouse, and this is one of my favorites. This is Haze. It's a double IPA, 8.2%. And this is, I don't know, I think it's their flagship double. It is so good, so juicy, so tropical. It's like a fresh, I don't know, Tropicana OJ with maybe papaya in there.
It's like a juice bomb to me.
Oh my God. These things are so dangerous. I'm sorry to keep broadcasting Treehouse. I'll drink to that. I know you're getting you're getting all...
That's right. Our last show,
he
was not a Treehouse fan.
But he didn't nix Treehouse. He nixed somebody else. You guys watch that. That's our previous video. You'll see who he nixed.
So what I'm drinking, and we discussed this in our last show, and this is my local beverage center just started carrying this, and it's Other Half.
Yes.
They're out of Brooklyn, New York. This is a broccoli double IPA. And within this is Mosaic, Simcoe, Nelson, Strata, Mosaic, and Simcoe Cryo. It's a 7.9. Guys, this is
cryo hops.
Absolutely freaking. I'm glad I didn't nix these off the Never Buy Again. This is really good. I got a 4-pack of this yesterday. This is my last one. So
hey, remind me to talk about that. That's my third topic.
Really good, guys. So this Other Half, I'm gonna go back to my beverage center and buy all this. This broccoli stuff is amazing. Yeah. So
that buttered broccoli aftertaste is just tremendous.
Oh, God, it's so good. And I'm drinking out of this. So today, on the side of the road, I found 2 of these.
Hell yeah!
So I picked up some glasses.
Crazy you say that, because that's another thing on my list.
It's almost
we're gonna talk. We honestly have not talked about this. We really didn't. It is brewery names and where they came from.
Okay.
And Dogfish Head is on my list.
No shit. Look at that. Not planned.
You want to start? Planned. You want to start that little thing? I didn't even prep you with any of this.
I don't know what we're talking about.
It's a monologue that I was going to go on a little monologue.
Hit it.
And I was going to ask you if you could guess any of these.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a brewery name and then maybe even a beer name, and then
Okay.
you have to try to figure out how that came about.
Okay. Let's go.
We're gonna start with that glass you're drinking,
Dogfish.
and it's Dogfish Head. They do some crazy stuff, but the one that I started out with was 60-minute IPA. Then they do a 90-minute IPA. They even do a 120-minute IPA. 6%, 9%, 12% IPAs.
Yep.
Very cool bottle, cool graphics. The owner named his brewery Dogfish Head. Why do you think? Wild guess.
Because his dog was on a beach and he grabbed a fish and ripped off the head.
Exactly right. How'd you
Are
get
you,
that?
are you serious?
No,
No.
no,
I
no.
was like, holy fuck, that's pretty good.
There's actually a town in Maine that he used to summer, and that's it. He named it Dogfish Head.
Wow.
So I'm guessing the town in Maine is called Dogfish Head, Maine. Yeah. All right, let's go to the second one.
Okay.
This is a brewery in Kansas called Hopping Gnome.
Hopping gnome. Okay.
Yep. And the owner named it that because
he was a gnome collector, and one day he walked outside and they were falling over each other, and he thought it was hopping.
ooh,
Not
very
no.
close.
Really? Okay.
Hopping because of hops,
Oh,
and
okay.
gnomes because they're normally drunk. That's it. So they were falling up. You almost had it.
I'm 0 for 2.
This one is very close to my heart because it's in the town that I grew up in. Lord Hobo Brewing Company from Woburn, Massachusetts. Lord Hobo.
God, jeez. All right. So
You won't get this.
No, I
but
won't.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to say that he was a Lord of the Rings fan, and his brother was a homeless hobo.
No.
This is going pretty good though.
So the owner had a friend, and his last name was Hobbs, and they called him Hobo.
Okay.
And one night they're all drinking, and I guess he's acting like an asshole. And he said, "You really are the Lord of Hobo, Lord of Hobos."
That's pretty
And
good.
then, bam, Lord Hobo.
All right.
So he literally named his brewing company after his friend who was drunk and just showing his ass.
I'm 0 for 3.
This is a great Florida brewing company called Funky Buddha.
Funky Buddha.
Funky Buddha.
Funky Buddha. I'm going to say that he had a fascination with the Buddha statues.
Ooh, so
and
close.
He loved the 90s band Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. No?
So close. So
Damn.
close. No, he actually owned a hookah bar.
Okay. Not even close.
And then he slowly transformed that into a brewery aptly named Funky Buddha. And the last one I have for you is a great brewery out of Austin, Texas called Jester King. Jester King.
Jester King. Well, I'm going to say he was maybe a chess fan and other jesters on chess. I don't know. That one I have nothing.
He came out and he was asked about it, and the only thing he said was, quote, "A wise fool who challenges order and conformity."
Yeah, that I never got that.
That's it. That was his quote.
All right, so I'm 0 for 5.
You want a couple of beer names?
Let's go.
Okay. You don't have to. I'm just going to name some of these. You don't have to guess.
Oh wait,
There's actually.
Stop. I got to stop you 1 second. What are you wearing?
Oh, dude. I got one for you. Don't worry.
Fuck, that shirt is dope as fuck. Let's go.
Yeah, look at the neon just glowing right there.
I can't wait. I can't wait to get that.
Don't forget, if you are going to the Cape Cod Brew Fest, we will be wearing these. Come see us, please. We'll be handing out stickers and coasters.
And guys, like we said before, comment, message us, get a sticker, coaster. Continue on to your story of beer names.
I was doing research for the show today, and I came across a whole bunch of crazy beer names. These are actually names of beers. They don't give you a reason why or anything, but I thought they were very clever, very witty, and some of them are very funny.
Okay.
In no
What do you got?
particular order, I have Great Lakes Brewing Company has a beer called Audrey Hopburn,
That's pretty good.
which
I
is I
like
thought
it.
was cool.
I like it.
Even better, Cellar Maker Brewing has one called Barbarian Streisand.
I like it. Very
Um,
clever.
this is my favorite one, and it's a brewery that I don't really know much about called Midnight Sun Brewing. Very
Where
cool
they
name.
where are they from?
They do. I don't even know.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up for you. They do a beer called Panty Peeler. I'm guessing it's a very high ABV on that one.
Yeah.
I've had this beer from Against the Grain. Do our viewers know what I'm going to say? Citra Ass Down is the name of the beer.
Love it.
It was good.
That's good.
And then the last one is from Palo Alto Brewing Company out in California, Hoppy Ending Pale Ale. And the label has like some dude on a massage table. It's great.
That's pretty good. You know what's
I
funny
don't know.
is so last week I talked about how my daughter and her fiance went to Provincetown for the week.
Yeah.
They went to Provincetown Brewery, and I posted on our Instagram page one of the beer taps. It said, "Watch out, she squirts."
Dear
I
Lord.
think that was pretty funny.
That's the name of the beer.
I think it was the name of the beer. She something.
Wow.
I can go back and look, but it was something like that was the name of the beer. It was pretty funny.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I still haven't been out there.
I've been to Provincetown once when I was maybe a
No. I
teenager.
haven't been to the brewery. I've been out to people watch and all that out there. It's wild, man. It's a great time.
She said it. She said it was great out there.
Yep.
It was, and she went to a bunch of different like local breweries and a couple dive bars, and it's like,
yep,
very good scene.
Yeah, there's a couple of breweries on your way out, and then there's the Truro Vineyards, which you can do a tasting of all the wines, and then they have a distillery right there.
Oh, nice.
So you better have a driver, because you'll drive out, but you're not getting back. It's dangerous. Wow, wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on my third beer. It's tremendous. Dying for some more Celtics basketball. We're looking at like 3 weeks. I think we're 3 weeks away.
October starts in October, right?
So a little over 3 weeks, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for the
dude. I'm telling you right now, the Knicks are going to be right there. They're going to be right there.
Yeah, we're going to be in. Yeah, it'll be Knicks and Celtics this year in the
Knicks, Celtics, maybe the 76ers if they can stay healthy. Health is huge for them. Huge. Actually, I'm going against my own words. We're not supposed to talk sports, religion, politics.
Yeah.
I have some lightning round questions for you.
This is good. I like this whole game format.
Lightning round. This is no thinking. It's just what you think, and then I will answer after you.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
You're not prepped. You're not prepped.
No, I don't know what we're talking about.
All right. How many beers do you drink in a week?
10.
All right. I'm at 14.
Oh, Monday through Friday. Wait. Monday through Friday or 7 days a week?
It's 7 days in a week.
Oh, all right. So let me back up. Shit. Yeah, 15.
Had to be one more than me. All right. I see how it is. Do you take any nights off?
Of what?
Drinking.
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
On purpose or?
I don't drink every night. We're not fucking alcoholics, Dennis. I don't drink every night.
We're not drinking every single night.
Just because I post on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube that we're drinking doesn't mean we're drinking every day.
Right. I don't drink every day either.
Wink, wink, wink. Next.
If I didn't drink every single night, would we try what they call non-alcoholic beers, non-alcoholic IPAs, or even hop water? Have you tried any of those?
I've tried the non-alcoholic beer.
Do you know the name?
It was like when I was drinking like the boring beer.
Oh, okay.
way back when. And yeah, it lasted a day.
The
Or
only one
I won't
I've
drink
only
it.
tried one called Is it Athletic? I believe it's Athletic, and it was pretty good. Um, I just I'm not gonna go out to the store and buy that. I'm honestly just gonna drink water,
You know what?
tea.
There was one time we're at Treehouse and they were having the taste testing there, and it was all non-alcoholic. Remember that
Yeah,
day? It
or
was
low,
actually
super low,
it was
low
really
ABV.
good. They were really good though.
Yeah, there was one at
But
like 2%.
it doesn't mean I would drink that.
Right. That's the problem with me. I'm
But
probably not gonna do it.
there's a market for it. You know, if there's a recovering alcoholic that just loves the taste of the hops, that's a
That
great a great wheel for that. Yeah, I mean,
that brings up my follow-up question to that is, um, do you think there is a market for that and
yeah.
why?
Well, there's
100%.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
I think it's the
100%
next
there.
big thing.
Yeah. Th-
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there that are just the recovering alcoholics, they're recovering drug addicts, they can't drink, and
Or
but
they
they
wanna
still
just cut down,
or they want to
cut
cut
down.
down, and they love the taste of it, and it's
Yeah.
only 1%, and they can still go out with their friends and have a drink,
Yeah.
socialize. Yeah, there absolutely is a market.
Or the people that maybe drink 15 beers a week. I don't know. I mean, that might be
Wait,
something for
is that a
them.
lot? Is 15 a lot?
You know, I went to the doctor, 2 weeks ago, and he asked me the same question, and,
I know. I had the same question on my physical.
"Do you drink?" I said, "Yes," and he said, "How much do you drink?" I said, "Oh, 14
Cup.
beers, 14 beers a week." He goes, "Ooh, you really should try to cut that in half," and I'm like, "Damn it, I
Did
already
you
did.
did you say, "Don't you realize we have a podcast?" Like,
Don't you realize I already did cut it in half?"
that's good, right?
Um, so let's stick with that, low ABV, maybe
Yep.
even the NA beers, the hop water type
Mhm.
stuff. Next month is Sober October.
Okay.
Have you ever taken part of Sober October?
Well, there was a time in my life where I didn't drink, like, at all,
Yeah,
okay? And I'm gonna
no one likes
blame
a
you
quitter.
I'm gonna blame you as a bad influence. It's your
Okay,
fault. It's your fault. No, yeah. No, there was a time that I didn't drink. Um, I didn't enjoy it. I just didn't drink, and
yep.
that was just that was life. It was that phase of my life where I thought I was like muscle man, and I worked out 4 times a day, and
Ah,
I took this. Wait, no, I didn't take steroids. I took a booster, and
oh, the
yeah, it
cream or
was.
the clear?
I can't really say I'm lying.
All right, that's
Um,
fine.
yeah, there was a phase in my life where I just worked out nonstop. So I didn't drink anything, and I was healthy. I was a vegan, like all that boring stuff, right?
What? I don't know any of this.
I,
This is
I know you
all
know,
foreign to me.
right? So yeah,
Wow.
yeah. There was a time in my life where I didn't do any of that.
We're not going to talk about politics, religion, sports, or vegan. Those 4 things.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, 2 years ago, I did dry January.
Ooh.
It was the most miserable experience of my entire life. I was just a grumpy, complete fucking asshole to the point where my wife was just like, please
Which
just go have a beer. Just go have a beer. And I'm like, no, I have to do this. And then I read more about it, and they're like, if you stop drinking for a month in the long term, there are 0 health benefits. 0. It's such a short time in your life where
but
it
what?
it it
Yeah,
it doesn't do anything.
it's 30 days.
It
Yeah.
doesn't do anything, but I was a fucking dick, to put it bluntly.
So don't
I
ever
was
do
just
that.
awful.
Just don't do it
I will
again.
never I will never do it again.
No.
Never do it again. Sober October, you guys can keep it. You can post about it. You can pretend that you're saving your liver in the short amount of time. It's really not going to do anything. The best thing you can do is if you have 2 beers a night, just cut it back to 1. You can drink every single night one beer.
Well,
That's going to have better health effects than
I have
just taking a month off.
a quick PSA. Everything's good in moderation.
Meth?
No, not meth. If it like
You said everything.
everything's everything's good in moderation. And the reason I say this because alcoholism in my family is really bad. So,
Now I feel like an asshole because I didn't know that.
but I'm not. I'm just saying, if you enjoy drinking every night, have 2 drinks and move on.
Yeah.
Don't overconsume. That's just my PSA. Don't overconsume. Next question.
That's the problem. Like what doctors are saying are for males 2 drinks, for females 1, right?
1? Wait, 1 all right, 1 glass of wine per
Well,
night?
what's a drink? What's a drink? You remember high school? What's a drink?
The whole bottle.
No. It's 7 ounces of wine, 12 ounces of beer,
Wait,
1
can I
to
go
1 and a half
can I go
ounces
get
of
Jen
liquor.
and can I go bring her on our podcast?
I'll give her, dude. I'll give her the. I'll
and see
give her
what
the.
and see what she thinks about this topic.
We all overconsume. That's my point.
We do. And that's
What
with
do you think? How many beers is this?
1.
No,
It's 1 beer. Look at
no,
that's this
no.
one. It's 1 can.
It's 16 ounces, and this is at 8.2% alcohol.
It's 3 beers.
It's
2.5.
at least 2. It's 2
Yeah.
beers. 1 beer is 12 ounces. 12 ounces at 5%. 7 ounces of wine, 1.5 ounces of liquor.
You're making us look bad.
It's the Pints and Profits show. The Pints and Profits show. This is a pint.
It is a
16 ounces is a pint.
Mhm.
All I'm saying is
People have left. Fuck these guys when I watch it.
this is way too much to be drinking. This is a 7.7 and an 8.2, and earlier I had an 8.8.
Yeah. Well, this is a 7.9, and I've already had a what is it, 7.4.
So
it's only 8 o'clock.
I go into my doctor's office and I say, I only have 2 beers. That's it. That's all I do. It's 14 beers a week. He will say that's too many. Little does he know that this is not 2 beers. This is like almost 4.
I know.
I'd say 3.75. So do the quick math. That's like 24 beers in a week.
Nah.
They're not going to be happy. I bring this up only because next month is Sober October. I'm not that I'm contemplating doing that. I might be contemplating doing less drunk October.
We can cut back a little bit. I mean, why do they have Sober October during Oktoberfest?
It's some of the best beers, some of the best.
Who thought of that idea? Like, hey, let's do Sober October during fucking
football is
Oktoberfest.
back. Basketball is back.
How is that a good
really
idea?
Cool German beers coming out. You got the beer festivals coming out.
I don't like that idea.
Oh, let's just stop drinking. I get dry January. I get it.
Yeah.
You just had Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa. You had all your holidays.
Yeah, all that. Yeah.
New Year's, and then bam, you're sober. I totally get that. That makes sense.
It does.
Give your body a break. But you're coming into some of the best beer drinking weather of the year.
Oh, that's a horrible month. It's
because it rhymes. It rhymes with sober. It's Sober October. That sucks.
You know what else?
That absolutely sucks.
Sober November, Sober December. It all rhymes.
I'm not doing Sober November or December.
Hey, what else? What else you got?
No, that's pretty much it. I had some beer sales stories from my past, but I'm going to save that for another episode. I was a regional beer salesman, and there was just some funny stuff that I came across as I'm walking into dive bars, and the record goes, and I'm like, the door opens, and like I'm walking in with my little hat and my shirt, and my little cooler, and these people are like, what is this? I'll definitely talk about it. It was a trip. I loved doing it. I love surprising people with, some of my beer knowledge and giving out free beers. Everyone is your friend when you bring,
absolutely.
8 beers for free. They're ice cold, and you're serving them. You're telling them about it, and they're just drinking free beer. That's it. I just wanted to talk about some of these crazy brewery names. There's
Yeah,
more.
I love it.
If you guys
Let's-
have
I
some
think we should
great,
let's make it a segment. I say
I
we make
love
it a
it.
segment. I love it. It's great. It's a great idea.
Brewery or beer, whichever one you want. If you guys have some out there that are crazy, funny, witty, let us know in the comments. And please get some stickers. I've got just a few
I
left,
know.
and I want to get these out before I start, plastering them on walls and what have you. We also have, and I use these every single night, coasters. Yep, right there. I will be buying tickets to the Cape Cod Beer Fest this week.
That's right. That's right. It's next Saturday.
Yep, next Saturday we will be there. I don't know if my hops necklaces are going to last. We're having a drought here, and they don't look very healthy. They just,
we'll see
they're
what
just,
happens.
they're dying. I'm still going to try to do it.
I can't
We'll
wait.
be the dudes.
It's going to be. You mentioned last time the past few years it's rained.
Yes,
I'm going to check right now. Let's check the old weather on the
I think
Cape.
it's going to be really nice.
Next Saturday is sunny and 75.
Yes, that is gorgeous weather.
I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun.
Also, we posted on our Instagram channel beer clean glass. Did you guys read that? Look at this. Look at this. We talked about lacing.
I've been making more effort. I know. I don't know how mine compares though.
Look at that.
It's clean though. I just washed this before I got on the air.
So my whole thing with my glasses are, if it's not sticking, that lacing, you want to get two things. You want to get vinegar and baking soda. Okay. And that's the thing that it activates and it starts bubbling and all that stuff. And a toothbrush. Pour some vinegar in your mug or your pint glass or whatever glass you're using, and pour a little baking soda in there. It'll start activating, and then get your toothbrush and just start scraping the side of it. All right. You get that thing sparkling clean, hot water, clean that out, let it dry. You're going to have a much better experience. You will have some beautiful lacing like this. This glass is so clean. All I can smell is hops, and I can smell the beer. There's no dishwasher smell. There's no, none of that. It's really what you want to do. We're paying $5 a beer, guys. I mean, think about it. This is $5. It's $5.
I just got a 4-pack of this, and it was $20.
Yeah. So I mean, you got to at least enjoy it. The whole thing is the aromatics. That's what the hops are there for. It's for the flavor and the smell. And if you're missing out on that because the glass is dirty, you're wasting your time, your money, your energy, your taste buds.
Yeah.
So with that, I say cheers. Great show.
And we have our special guest coming up soon. So
next week we have do we have a reseller or do we have a beer? I'm looking at the schedule here.
So let me a quick plug. This Friday, tomorrow night, we are on Flippin' Ain't Easy YouTube, 6:00 Eastern time, 3:00 Pacific. Great dude, come check us out. Next week we have Lindsay Hayes. The week after we got Sell Trash, Get Money, and then the week after we got Driftless Thrifter. So guys, a lot of great people coming up.
Awesome, great stuff. And then we get into the late part of November, and I got some people lined up as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
We will reach out to you. We're looking to finish our October schedule and into November. You don't have to like reselling and craft beer. You can like either or. We would love to have you on, pick your brain about just topics that we love.
And we have a guest coming on next. Like Ronnie from the Cape is coming on. So
stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
We will be introducing him in a couple of seconds, really, after I do the editing. So it's a great show, guys. And here we go. Here's our guest. All right. I would love to bring in a very special guest for everybody, Ronnie from the Cape. Ronnie, he's a reseller here in my neck of the woods. We've never met in person, but you know, he's a follower of mine on Instagram, and I follow his stuff. And sometimes I'm absolutely amazed with the things that he finds and resells. Ronnie from the Cape, welcome to the Pints and Profits Show.
Well, thank you guys for having me on.
Cool, cool. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got into reselling, what categories you sell, maybe what platforms?
Okay. Basically sell on eBay. I did try Poshmark for a little while, didn't like it. So basically, on eBay, it's eBay for life at this point. You know, ride or die, eBay. I basically sell clothing, but I've sold other things. You know, when I had a warehouse for a while, I had an office even. You know, when I had those things, of course, you would buy more. Like I would just buy anything at yard sales. I had a Ford Excursion, and that damn thing was rough. The back interior of that truck was kind of rough because I would buy a power washer. I know a power washer. It's $10. Like I know I can get more money for it, so I'd sell everything and everything when you have the space. But when I'm at a 2-bedroom condo, it's kind of hard to really bring anything and everything in. I have a storage unit, but I really don't want to get into the habit of just doing all this stuff. And I have a smaller vehicle now. I have a Volkswagen Tiguan, so it's a little bit different. You know, it's and I don't like to get that car all dirty, so it's
Right.
a totally different thing. But mostly sell on eBay, and that's it really. And I sell mostly clothing because it's easy. It's easy to find. We're in one of the more northeast, I would say, is like a very good clothing area. Everything probably from Philadelphia up through Maine is very good for clothing. I mean, my parents and I grew up in upstate New York for a few years. I'm very, and you know, I even go there and find stuff. Once you figure out what to find, you find it anywhere for the most part.
Yeah.
You know,
Where did you grow up in upstate New York? What part?
Oneonta and Milford.
Okay,
Areas,
yeah.
right outside of Cooperstown.
Yeah, Oneonta. That's about 45 minutes from me.
Okay.
Cooperstown is, yeah.
So
Nice.
where are you? Are you?
I'm in outside of Albany, a little small town called Niskey, in the
Oh, okay.
the Schenectady area.
Okay.
Albany,
That's where I
Schenectady.
bought my first car, Schenectady Ford.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I'm in that area, that neck of woods.
The Escort that I want, but the Escort
Nice.
I got.
Nice. Yeah, so I'm just gonna ask you a couple questions because we're both clothing resellers. So I kind of want to kind of pick your brain a little bit and see how we compare and talk about a few things. So, how long you been selling online? I know you mentioned you're on Poshmark and eBay, and so how long? Like, when did you start selling?
I've been selling off and on eBay since 1998.
Oh shit!
But this account, well, before it was like baseball cards and stuff like that, and then it was my personal clothing. I'd get tired, realized there was a market, but I didn't really think there was a market to sell stuff and make a living on it. You know,
Right.
I just knew I had clothing. I didn't wear it anymore. Oh, I could get $10, $15 for this shirt that I paid $10 or $15 for at TJ Maxx. Like, and that was just a thing. And I had a huge sneaker collection. I wouldn't call myself a sneakerhead, but I get into these like addictive habits, and sneakers was a thing for a while. Like I couldn't afford sneakers when I was younger because my parents didn't have the money for it. Like we would get a pair of Jordans here or there,
Right.
but it wasn't a consistent thing. So when I finally had some money, I would buy sneakers that I wanted. And then I realized like having 3 and 4 pairs of the same sneaker, like, what am I doing? When I moved to the Dominican Republic in 2009, I sold a lot of my sneakers and stuff like that. Sold a lot of stuff on eBay, and a lot of stuff like local pickup back then. Like it was kind of a little bit different, you know, and you could sell books at the time through half.com. You know, I sold a lot of books. I don't know why. I into reading books a lot back then because it took away from the stress of being a chef at a restaurant. And then I became a full-time reseller in 2000. I want to say it was November 2012 or 13. I don't remember which year it was now.
It's been at least 10 years though. You would say.
No, it was 2013, November 2013. Because I went to the Dominican Republic for 3 weeks, and I went to Florida for 2 weeks. And that was the reason I had like a 5-week vacation. My
Right.
job said, well, we can't give you that much time anymore because we lost a cook. And I was like, well, that is not my problem.
Right, exactly.
And then it became an escalation thing to where I just didn't show up one day. Like I was just, and then they were like, and it just became this because I worked at a family restaurant. I worked there for like 16 years.
Wow.
So it was like this thing of just like two heads, you know, where we knew each other. Shit would be said that shouldn't have been said because all of a sudden you're like family with these people. So
Right.
things get said that shouldn't be said to like boss and back to, so I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm out. And I had a really good month. I should have stuck it out because I was in the middle of buying a house at the time.
Yeah.
And I just totally blew that up. My wife didn't really realize and everything. So, like we didn't really realize you had to be a business owner for 2 years and had all this. We didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I would have run right back to work the next week if I knew that. I would have been like, you know what? I apologize. There's nobody better than me what I did. Like I know
Right.
the 16 years I worked there was nobody better than me. So I would have walked back, got a raise, and been fine. Like people would have been good. Would have been there a few more years, and things would have been a lot different. I
Right.
kind of forced myself into reselling pretty quickly, and that's what happened. Kind of.
Do
Nice.
you regret anything that you did back then? Do you regret leaving a pretty stable, if not conflicting job to go to reselling, or do you
Like I
look
said,
back?
I wish I stuck it out a little bit more. I was doing 2 jobs and then doing eBay. Like money was freaking good. Like
Yeah.
one job I made $50,000 a year. The other job I was making 20 something dollars an hour cash under the table. Uncle Sam, doesn't matter. But I was probably making 85,000 a year just from doing that. And then reselling, I was doing probably like 5,000 a month at the time, 6,000. So income was good. Like I was able to afford my first brand new car at the time, and I was driving this, Toyota Camry. But hey, I didn't care.
Yeah.
It was brand new.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
hi. And then I upgraded. Like, okay, let me get rid of the Camry and get rid of the Ford Excursion. We're gonna buy a brand new Suburban, and it's been hot potato since then with cars. Like every few years, I get bored of things pretty
Yeah,
quickly.
I hear you.
I would say.
So where do you think you primarily source? Now, I don't want you like to tell locations, but like where do you like your general area of like sourcing? How do you get your inventory? Like
Thrift stores, 100%. It's basically thrift stores.
is it okay?
When things are in a better, like my plan is to get a bigger house here pretty soon, and then I'm having a surgery soon and having some different things going on, so I'm going to be in a better position to
Right.
really kind of take care of things and kind of have the room. The idea is to get more space. I need more space because I can easily do probably 80 to $100,000 a year in clothing sales from my house. The problem is I want to get to like I really want to get to 250 next year, or at least by the end of the year be averaging close to do that for 2026.
Right.
I don't want to try to invent the wheel. I don't want to try to build overnight, and try to scale up like crazy because I'm just not there physically, mentally,
Right.
because
Space.
there's a lot that happened this past year that I'm trying to get through, and death of my father, my own health issues, my own issues with my wife. Currently I'm separated from her. And dealing with my mom now that's single. I mean not single, but
Widowed, right?
widowed, and she's never going to be with anybody again. But she's a handful, and my brother primary deals with her because he lives in the next town, and I got to start thinking maybe for the first time ever in my adult life to move maybe out of Cape Cod and move back home to help that situation and
Right.
help my mom out, or be there to help my brother out, kind of take care of my mom and going forward. I mean, she's still young. She's, I want to say like 66, 67. So, she's good, but mentally she's
Yeah.
not 100% there.
Now, like you mentioned, like space, like it's hard to grow because of the space issues. Like how many do you list? Like what's your listing goal per day? Like what do you?
I don't really have a listing goal. I will
Okay.
go sometimes, as you can see, the mess of stuff right over here. There's things. There's stuff over here. There's stuff next to
Yeah,
me here.
we all have
My
that.
living room. I mean, it unfortunately shows kind of very messy. My housekeeper comes tomorrow, so a lot of this will be cleaned up. I mean, she doesn't clean up my eBay inventory,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
she cleans the rest of it. And she was supposed to come like Wednesday, but she hurt her foot. But blah blah blah. Um, you
So
know, men's cleaning is not the same as a woman's cleaning. Brazilian girl comes in with that Fabioso and bleach and Pine Sol, and I feel like I'm freaking high for 6 hours.
you don't think you don't? So you're saying you don't have like a listing goal? Is that like you don't have
My goal is trying to get 5 up a day right
Okay.
now, currently, but I'm all over the place because I've been sick. I've been all over the place. I have like this flu or something. I thought it was allergies, but I think it's a little bit worse than maybe allergies. I'm probably after we get out of here, I'm gonna go to CVS and get one of those tests and check make sure I'm, because I'm just like, what the hell? Something's
Um,
feeling sicky.
have you tried sourcing at the bins? Have you ever gone there? I know the bins I go to is in Connecticut, and that's probably the closest for like our location, both of us. Have you thought about going to the bins and trying that out to
I mean,
buy?
I've been to the one in Boston a few times.
Okay.
One at the Boston Goodwill on Harrison Ave, and it's a very small bin store.
Okay.
They have it's connected to like probably one of the larger retail stores I've ever been in around here for Goodwills anyway, because most of our Goodwills are small.
I
Especially in
heard I
Boston.
heard that the Goodwill bins in Boston closed down. Is that true?
They're back open again.
Really?
They opened sometime earlier this year.
That's good to know because go
And then
check it
there's
out.
also a bigger one in Portland, Maine. I don't know how far you ever go.
Well, Portland is far. I know there's one in New Hampshire as well.
Yeah, I've been to
Um,
that. I
but
like a lot of these I'll go to once, but it's not my cup of tea.
yeah, see, I like the bins for us is 2.5 hours away from Albany. It's down in Hamden, Connecticut. So when we go down there, we get enough inventory for maybe 2 weeks, just because it's a long ride. But we'll come back with shit.
The way
200.
I look at the bins for me anyway is that I only have so much space, and
Yeah.
I've really focused on having like a high ASAP. So my ASP, if I take out the ties, because ties are cheap and easy and easy to store, it's probably around $100 per item.
Okay,
And
that's
I
good.
like the average because I don't have a huge space. I have one bedroom
That's
that I donate to eBay for the most part, and part of my bedroom is too. Believe it or not.
so that's definitely like a good like business model, lower volume, higher ASP.
Yeah. So the
Like
bin doesn't work for me because you
Okay.
can find stuff that you can get for $2-3 and sell for 20-25, and it's good profit. But at the same time, I don't have that space.
Yeah,
No.
that's a good point. It's a little bit different. I mean, everyone's situation is different. Like, I've got two eBay rooms in my house that I store everything. Dennis has a big storage area behind him, so it's different for everybody. Whatever works for you is what you got to do. You know what I mean? You have any questions, Dennis? I have a couple more, but did you want to chime in on anything?
No, I was just going to say just the vast difference for the beginners out there that are wondering, do I need to buy everything, or can I actually go like so far down and get a very small specific niche and focus on that? You're seeing right here a
And that's what I
prime
was gonna say.
example.
That's a good example. Like for someone who's living, someone who's starting new, you don't have to have 3,000 items, 10,000. You can have a couple hundred, whatever. I'm not sure what Ronnie has, but a couple hundred items with a high ASP.
Yeah, it's in the mid 500s.
Okay, yeah, with a high ASP. If you're selling stuff between 75 to $100, it may take me 5 sales to make that, where he has to sell one thing to make that. So everyone has a different model.
But having less items too, you run into issues where you may not have sales every day because you're relying on
Yeah.
higher dollar sales. So you go through these phases where I may sell 5, 6 things in one day, have $1,000
Yeah.
day, and then all of a sudden have a day where I'm selling one thing for $25.
Yep, it happens. It happens for
As long
sure.
as it averages out the same at the end of the month, because not every day is going to be the same. So you just have
Right.
it has to be a monthly average.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. Like, you know, and someone said this before. Like, you can't be in eBay's not designed to be in business for one day. Like, if you're a bad day, you have a bad day. I look at like the weekly. What am I making per week? What am I making per month? And it all at the end of the day, I think it averages out. What do you? Let's see. So like what's your photo setup? Are you using a mannequin? Are you flat laying? And well, let's go back to like what do you sell? I know you sell clothing, but what's your like niche? Like what do you like focus on getting when you're out thrifting?
I mean, one of the prior is it's kind of more men's dress wear kind of stuff, like suits, ties, shirts,
Okay.
pants, kind of thing. I mean, yeah, I will if I find concert shirts. Yeah, I'm gonna pick them up.
Right.
But you don't really find that stuff in thrift stores all that much.
No.
Occasionally you do, but that's more bins finds or more
Yeah.
yard sales, estate sales kind of
Yeah.
thing. So, you know, I do find some stuff. There's some certain places that I enjoy going to. There's certain connections you will learn with or find out with people too. You become very so they help you out
Mhm.
in finding stuff, or they may put a stuff aside for you when you come in a store. Hey, I got this stuff for you. Or they may text you, call you. There's a few different people that I know that have thrift stores around that do that.
Yeah. I think we all do. I think we all have like our
It's
local go-to connections.
But it's also good not to kind of force those relationships because I think a lot of people try to
Yep.
do that. They go into a place and they automatically like, you know,
Oh, hey, like, hey, what do you got for me?
Yeah. Video games, call me if you get it in. And it's
Right.
like, you know, so did the other 20 guys before you're looking for video.
Yeah, it's true. I agree.
You know, just be friendly, be cordial, and your friendships will be there and they come around.
Now, what do you
I
like?
totally agree with that. It's you can't go into a place and expect things
No.
or be like it's
And,
you know,
and
I have a few of those connections. I never ask. I never ask. I never go in there like, "Hey, what do you got today?" It's, what?
there's a
That's
couple.
me.
There's a couple like thrift stores around here that they're resellers, and they'll walk in and go right to like I'm assuming the manager. I'm like, hey, what do you got for me? What do you got? Like, it's like at some point, like, dude, back off. Like,
Yeah. They don't owe you anything. I
nothing.
mean, it's
Nothing.
just
It's good to make
zero.
relationships, but man, you
Yeah.
gotta think outside the box and do other things than just rely on one person.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Connections are huge in this business. And if
Huge.
you're not trying to actively source out connections and, hey, I have a whole bunch of this and I know that guy loves this, maybe we can work out a trade, or every time I get this item, I will, you know, call you and vice versa. It's really not, I mean, what you know is huge, but who you know, I think is bigger.
Yeah. What do you? And I'm gonna ask this question to both you guys. What are your thoughts on like promotions? Do you agree with the promotion rate? Do you think eBay is a pay to play? Like, what are both your thoughts on the eBay promotions? And do you do it? And if you don't, why? Dennis, you go first.
Yeah, I've said it in the past. I definitely promote probably 95 to 99% of the things that I sell. I sell probably 95% of the things you guys don't sell. And for me, it's media, toys, electronics, that type of stuff. And it's mostly flooded markets where I have to promote.
Right.
And as soon as I hit promote, that stupid 11.5, 11.7, 12.3% comes up. Like,
More. I've seen
absolutely
more.
not.
I've seen stuff up to 25, 30, 35%.
I've never seen that. The
Oh my
highest I've seen
God.
was 15%, and I laughed. So I automatically cut that and I go down to like 7, maybe
Yeah.
8, depending on what it is. But I'm not doing 10, 11, 12%. It's just crazy.
So Ronnie, what do you think? What do you do?
I will promote certain things. I have 3 tiers because I have a smaller inventory. Everything I feel like it depends on the item. So let's say it's some run of the mill Brooks Brothers item, there's a lot of Brooks Brothers stuff.
Yeah.
That gets promoted, but I do a promotion of 6%.
Okay.
That's my highest percentage. I do 6%. I feel 6% is okay. It's kind of fair, and it's good. Then if it's something somewhat rare, or maybe I feel like maybe I need a little bit of promotion, I do 2%.
Right.
And then I'll half my items, I probably don't do any percentage whatsoever. I do nothing. Like if it's a rare enough Ralph Lauren shirt, I'm not going to promote it. Why?
Yeah.
There's only 5 of them on
I
eBay.
agree.
No reason to. Or if it's one of these like bespoke Seville Row suits from England, there's no reason to promote that. There really isn't. There's only
I
100
agree.
on eBay, and then if you take out by size, what is there, 5 or 6 per size, most likely? So there's no reason really to promote a lot of this stuff. It's just, people. I mean, but people have a bigger store, and it might be easier just to promote everything. So I know how that happens, but I really hate promoted listings. But I understand the reasoning behind it, especially for eBay. I mean, they're a business to make money, and they figured out a little niche to make extra money out of it.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
they're making more money on promoted listings than they are on their gross market value, whatever it's called.
Final value. Fees.
Yeah. But I agree with Ryan. Like with my promotions, I'm the same thing. So I find a shit ton of American Eagle, for example, at the bins. Like my cost of goods at the bins are like $1.35. So when American Eagle is completely flooded, so yet they're not selling for more than $15. I'm going to promote that like 8%. But if I find a Laura Piana jacket or a sweater, I'm not promoting that. Or if I find, some of the bigger brands that we don't need to promote, like Ronnie said, that there's maybe 20 listed and their sell-through rate's 100%, there's no reason to promote that. I may not even, maybe I'll put 2% on it, or maybe nothing. So like he said, I'm the same thing. It all depends on the item to where I promote. But I don't ever go over 8.1. 8.1 is my final number, is where I go at. So it works for me. But it comes down to like sourcing, right? If you can get your stuff for $1, less than $2, I'll take a little bit of a hit on the promotion fee, And I'm trying to like the volume game. Like I list 15 a day. I'm pushing 1,500 items in my store. My goal is to get to like 3,000 to 5,000. So I don't care if I sell something for $15. I got it for $1. So
yeah, I don't know. You guys are in a different wheelhouse than me. It's. I have maybe 100 items listed between eBay and Poshmark for clothing.
Oh, for clothing, I was like,
I don't know. It's
honestly, just, like Poshmark today tripled my sales on eBay. I don't know why. So I freaking love Poshmark. I know Ronnie, you said you don't like Poshmark, but I love Poshmark.
I tried when it first came around in was it 2017 when they started selling men's stuff, I should say, on Poshmark.
Yeah.
So that might have been a big reason there wasn't the hugest market because it was just starting.
Right.
I may get into it, but the problem is a lot of my photos are not done properly to transfer over, or they weren't when I used to do it. Like they come out all messed up and stuff.
Yeah, because like when I list manually, I don't have any like listing services or whatever you call it. I list everything manually. So I will legitimately go to eBay, copy and paste the title, and just transfer my photos over. I don't think Poshmark has the same photo requirements as eBay. I don't think it really matters.
It used
what
to be
kind of requirements?
Or whatever.
Like it has to be like 4.3 or some kind of like dimensions for eBay. Isn't there?
I would have to play with it to check with it, but I felt like I was a damn drug dealer selling on Poshmark.
It's tricky. It takes some time to get going, and like I've told this to Dennis before because he was struggling with Poshmark a little bit. I'm like, try the bot. So I have a Posture VA bot, and I gave him the affiliate link, whatever. He jumped on the Posture VA, and what happened?
I think I sold like 5 things in a day and a half.
Right. So it works.
It was the same crap that I've had on there for like I don't know, 3 months.
Because it's all
And then
about
all of a
it's
sudden,
all about the Poshmark get to share your store, which is annoying as hell.
yeah.
So I get it.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely hate selling clothing. There's no enjoyment at all.
Yeah.
At all.
And
It's
I
a
hate
chore.
and I hate
It's a
selling what you
chore.
sell.
But I hate walking past rows and rows and rows of potential money. I mean,
Yeah.
go to any thrift store. More than half, I'd say more than 2/3 of the store is clothing.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to walk past all of that to get like 2 video games if I'm lucky. And like, that doesn't make any good business sense. I'm already here. It's staring at me. Learn something. So Scott told me like 5 brands to look for. And then I mastered those. Here's
Yeah.
5 more. Master those. Like, you don't have to know
You don't
everything
have to
about
know
everything. Just look for these 5 things. Look for these 10 things. And I started picking up stuff. One of them being, this is a beauty. I picked this up today. This thing is a women's like long, and it's the perfect opportunity to showcase this thing.
Dennis, the tag's on the inside if you're looking for it. Okay.
There it is. There. It's one of those Irish
Is that
Merino wool thing.
what's the name of the what's that brand name? Is it Aaron Crafts?
It's not Aaron Craft. It's Innis Crafts.
Oh, okay,
Made in
yeah.
Ireland, 100% merino,
It's
and
perfect.
it is large. It's big. I mean, it's goes down
Ronnie,
to your.
so Ronnie, let's go an over under. What would you think that would sell for? Over 50, under 50? Without comping it.
I'll say under.
Really? I'll say around 50.
I was going to say 40.
Because that
Yeah,
On
45,
that.
50. Yeah, so
At first I thought that was the Laurel Piana because it looked like a brown tag.
dude, we had a conversation about Laura Piana. I found 3 Laura Pianas once in the thrift store. Like, I sold all of the cashmere vests for like between $500 to $700, like instantly, and I've never found it ever again.
it's crazy.
I probably never will. And it's like, what,
I
like,
probably I just went right by it.
and the funny thing about the one Laura Piana, it only had the L, like the little L symbol on the zip up for the jacket or for the vest. It was just sitting a little L. I'm like, that's all you have to look for. And like the label was like in the pocket somewhere, so people just went past it.
There was a estate sale in Chatham last winter I went to, and they had a Laurel Piana Vacuda long trench coat like jacket, and they had it for $3,000. And I was willing to spend $3,000, but the wife kind of talked me out of it because it's you spend a lot of money to make. But I'm like, honey, it's gonna sell for like probably $8 to $10 grand.
Easy,
like,
yeah.
We're making money here. Even if I don't want to sell this myself, I can probably consign this out to somebody and do all right. I could probably talk somebody into it and take a less fee, take 20% or something for selling the item.
And like I hear a lot of people like, they'll I'm not sure if you hear this out there, but like they'll gatekeep brands, right? I don't ever want to talk about these high-end brands, but like the thing about Laura Piana is like the chances of finding a Laura Piana at a thrift store is very, very low. Very low.
I mean, the whole gatekeeping thing I think is funny because I'll hear people say it. They'll be like, "Oh, people gatekeep," and I'm like, I've been on YouTube for like 13 years here. I don't think there's any gatekeeping of any brands anymore. Everything has already been talked about. It may not be talked with this generation of people that are viewers, but it's already been brought up. It's already been talked about.
What?
It's more newer brands that you just find every day now. There's a new brand that I run across probably once a week that I have no idea. I've never heard of it before, but I see made in Europe. Anywhere made in Europe, I'm giving it a closer look.
Yeah. Anytime I'm looking and the tag looks different, like it's your paper tag or something, the tag isn't the normal tag you're looking for. It gives it a shot to look it up. I got one more question, and this might be a conspiracy question.
What was that? I'm sorry. What did you say?
This last question may be a conspiracy question. Are you guys ready for this?
Ooh, I don't know. I dropped something down here. I heard the word and I heard it.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it.
So Dennis got the tinfoil hat on with the
Tinfoil
conspiracy
hat,
question.
guys. Let's do it.
Ronnie, here's the question of the conspiracy. Are you finding or do you feel that the clothing market has shit the bed in the last year?
No.
No.
I still think it's a great way to make money. And the thing was, when I started reselling clothing, there was a kid on here. His name was Steve, Raking Profits or something like that. I think his name was. I might be wrong,
yeah.
but I think that was his name. And he made these guides on what to look for. Everybody was like, and this was like 13, 14 people like, oh my God, the clothing market's going to die off. It never died off. I mean, because you may tell somebody, oh, look for Pendleton. Not all Pendleton sells.
Right.
It's specific pieces. There's certain J. Crew pieces that sell for good money. There's certain pieces you could sell of almost every brand in a way. There's something that's there, but you just have to know what to look for. And a lot of this, you could sell no-name stuff. I picked up no-name suits and I've sold them for a couple $100 because it's a unique enough style or material or pattern or something. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a size. So a lot of it goes just to having a gut feeling about things. Yeah, it doesn't always work out. You may pick up something and think, "Wow, this is the coolest freaking thing ever." It doesn't have a name, and then you're sitting on it for 3 years and be like, "Yeah, that was a fail." But you tried. You got to try. And the thing is, there's new brands coming out all the time. There's other brands falling up. The problem is, what I think with most resellers, they don't evolve enough. They're in it for a while, and they don't adapt to eBay's changes, and they don't adapt to brands as they change. They're still picking up every Robert Graham shirt that they find, and it turns into
wait a minute. But so you do agree that the market on some brands has dropped, though? Like Robert Graham, for example.
Everything goes up and down.
Right.
My sex life goes up and down. Everything goes up and down. It's no different than certain cars are popular, certain areas to live are popular, and then not. 20 years ago, nobody wanted to live in Austin. Austin's now one of the biggest cities in America, and it's been that way for a few years now.
So I have a different view on what Ronnie says. So I think the clothing market from when I started, or even last year, has completely dropped off. Let me give a few examples. And you made some good points about within those brands, styles will always sell. But I think brands as a whole have dropped. So let me give an example for a pair of women's jeans, frame jeans. Okay. Frame jeans a year ago were selling between $35 to $45 frame. I can't get $15 for that same pair of jeans that sold for $40 last year to now completely different.
But that's more of a supply and demand thing, because at one time, I can tell you right now, Untuckit, Vineyard Vines, Supply, all brands that were newer brands, and the supply for used items on eBay was low, so you could ask higher price. But as there's more of those items become into the marketplace, used, pre-owned, the price comes down. And then you have a lot of these, I'm going to call them to race to the bottom resellers, that they're happy turning $5 into $15,
which is why I think some of those, why it's dropped so much. The brands are out there; it's more saturated. People are racing to the bottom, where before they used to sell for 25. Now they're taking 10. So now the market it's shot.
And also the bias. Sometimes a lot of these brands, I mean, fashion nowadays is a throwaway thing. Nothing stays in style for long periods of time. It just changes. But I have more like a curated eBay store. That's how I look at my thing.
Right.
I pick and choose. I'm very picky. I don't even pick up men's dress shirts really anymore, just because there's so much listed on eBay, unless it's like a Brioni, Keaton, or if it's new with tags and it has to be like Hugo Boss or something like that, new with tags or Brooks Brothers. I will stay away from it. There's no Brooks Brothers shirts I'm picking up anymore. Just isn't. It's not worth it. There's too many of them out
I
there.
know. And that's like, and like when I go to the bins, the things we picked up last year, we're not picking up this year. So even at the bins, we're being super selective at the bins because we know that, Robert Graham is completely garbage now, where I would have grabbed all the Robert Graham last year. So, I mean, I think we both have valid points.
I mean,
It's all about.
it's the supply and demand thing because it's always been that way with used clothing on eBay.
Do you think that you think social media has ruined that though? Where they're gonna find a hot brand, they're gonna blast the fuck out of it, everyone looks for it, and then they race to the bottom.
Not necessarily because I've been on the side of making content for 12, 13 years now. I think
Okay.
since 2011. So I've been here talking about it on social media. And to tell you the truth, the market is the height of reselling on YouTube was 5-6 years ago. It's not now.
Right.
It's kind of slowed down. You don't see these newer channels growing at the rate they were back in 16, 17, 18. You just don't see it. My channel never took off because I was never consistent enough to making videos. And I didn't stay consistent enough. Like I did a lot of things that were some of the first person to show like sales updates and doing all these things, but I wasn't consistent enough. It wasn't, I was more running around doing shows. I mean, there was a time where we're doing 3 shows a week, 3 live shows a week on YouTube. That takes so much time.
Because I know,
You don't put
I,
videos out because you're doing 3 live shows. There's no reason to put a regular video out.
so like I post all the time on TikTok. I've got a pretty decent following on TikTok, like 8,000 followers, but I see all the time all these newer resellers come on TikTok and they're doing the thrift hauls and they're talking about the brands we're talking about and they're like, grab all this. And I know that the brands that they're grabbing are garbage. Yeah, they're telling people that they're selling for this amount when I know that they're selling for nothing. So I think
it's everybody has a different game. Like to a lot of people, sometimes just doubling your money is like where they're happy with it. I'm not. You guys are probably not.
no.
On certain items like that $3,000 Vacuda jacket, I would have been happy to make $3,000 on it.
Right.
I sold it for 7,500 something, and after everything, I made 3,000 or 3,500. I would have been happy on that. That's like when I was selling cars back in the day. That was kind of the margins we were selling on cars. Cheaper cars made us more money than buying a Corvette for 20 grand and selling it for 24.
Right.
We sold that, Ford Escort for 6 grand and we bought it for 3. It would be a lot better for us. The margins are a lot better.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, we kind of saw both sides of it. I like it. Good topic.
You both had great points. I don't know if it was conspiracy. It was definitely
It was interesting.
You both made your points. Whether it was absolutely the same agreement or not, I don't think it was, but I could agree with both takes. So
I mean, I can say since 2014 when I went full time, I've consistently made between 90 and 120,000 selling clothing per year, other than last year because I was just in a funk last year, and after I got rid of my office that I was renting, I was renting an office right across from the Goodwill, right across the street, and I could walk across the Goodwill every day and do my thing, walk back across the street. But we had a rent situation that was getting out of freaking control pretty quickly, and then some issues going on with my wife and not wanting to be part of the business. All of a sudden, out of the blue, like I don't want to do this no more. And you have an office, but you're only one person. There's only so much you can process. You can only do.
Yep.
And I was feeling burnt out, so I stopped it for a while, and then I got involved in driving for Uber for a little bit, but I really don't like driving people. It's good money in the summer. In the Cape, you can make $2,000-$3,000 a week easily because we have tourists and shit. But in the wintertime, nah, you ain't doing shit. There's nobody here.
There's no one here. So
I'm there.
Well,
I come.
yeah,
I
he
come
comes
in
out.
November.
all the
I come all winter.
Yeah.
Good escape.
Well, Ronnie, great to have you.
Yes, that was great.
Awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Really in-depth stuff from a non-clothing guy. It kind of encourages me more to get out there and do my research and learn some more brands. And
Oh, you're too close. You don't really need to get into clothing too much. It's
I
fine.
mean, you guys are talking about the stuff that doesn't sell anymore. I'm like, oh, I know that one. Oh, that's I just got one of those.
Old
So I'm
Navy,
like,
I heard, is a hot brand of
I'm 3 years behind you guys. So I am no threat whatsoever. Do you want to give your social medias or where people can find you and watch you or contact you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. Currently, it's Heart Pickers. It's what I've been. I'm changing the name at some point. I just haven't got around to it. You can find me on Instagram. I do make TikToks. Really don't have anything to do with freaking clothing selling. It's just me goofing around. On both of those are Ronnie from the Cape, and it's the same name that you see on the screen there. And it's kind of more of just. I think that's the only places you could find me. I'm not really anywhere else. I joke around. I post stuff on Instagram all the, occasionally. It depends. Some days I'm good. I may post 10 stories. I really haven't got into the thing of posting whatever posts are. Yeah, I guess they're posts. I post more about stories. I like the interaction and stuff like that. And then YouTube, I just really started making videos again. So I'm doing like these weekly reseller vlogs or reseller diary things. I think.
Yeah, I mean, you got some. I mean, your Instagram is pretty good. You got some good stories and good posts. So everyone, give Ronnie a follow.
Combination of everything from scenery to it just depends. If you look through my posts, it started with reselling, then it kind of got into my hobby for a while of vintage advertising. Then it was because of damn Luke got me into freaking trading cards, baseball, basketball crap for a while. And then I got a stack of ones right here I'm supposed to send in to get graded. And they've been here for like literally 6 months. I just have no desire anymore to do that. Like I just totally shit the bed on me, and it's like, whatever. You costed me thousands. I one time I had like $40,000 in cards at PSA waiting to get graded when they shut everything down. But all that money came back eventually. I was able to sell it, but some of it sold at good prices. Some of it, because it was held up for a year plus, did not do well. And then I got addicted into day trading for a while. Did well, but there was also some failures on that. You could easily lose. I mean, you could easily come out like 20 grand in a day trading, but you could also lose $20,000 in a day. It's like sports scam. Like, nope, I'm done with this too. Like, I'm no more into this. I can't do this anymore. Like during COVID, it was fun because literally anything you put money into back then was crazy. Like I made so much money in overstock over and over and over a year. Just flip, like it went from 3. If I just held money in there, I would have did well, because I bought into it like $3-4, and I would sell it at 10, then buy it at 15, sell it at 20. But it went all the way up to like 100. If I bought at 3 and just stayed pat, I would have been good with how much money I had at that time. I would have been a millionaire technically. I would be able to buy a beach house here, because it would have been multi-millions, and I would have been fine. I would have had a house on the beach. I would have been good. I would have paid that off free and clear. But, live and learn. But I didn't lose really much money in that. So, there were some days where I didn't say nothing to anybody that I lost a shitload of money.
And now you're just one of us regular resellers that just get out there and, I don't know, up and down the roller coaster.
Yep.
So, hey, thanks so much for joining us, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Great to talk to you. Check him out, guys, on Instagram and YouTube. And yeah, great stuff. I am almost intrigued with selling clothing. Almost. All right.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. All right.